So if you know that being present is the most powerful place to be, how do you get there? How do you stay there? The next question is, what is it about you that's always present? Because there's something about you that's always present. So think about that for a moment. What is it about you that's always present? Everybody will go, oh, I don't know. Everybody hems and haws, and someone will eventually say, oh, the body. Mm-hmm. Body is always present. Doesn't have a past, doesn't have a future, doesn't go from here to there like a bee to different flowers. So if there's some way to connect with the body at any given moment, that means that the awareness is present. So a simple technique is when you're engaged in a conversation or you're engaged in an activity, briefly bring your attention to the breath.
Because the breath is always with the body.
Always.
It's interesting when you think about that, because you and I, we look at concepts, for instance, and we see that the mind thinks that concepts are real. Mm-hmm. And so what we do with the people that we work with is we say, no, don't think of the concept as a real thing, but think of it as a pointer. And a pointer to what? A pointer to that same sense that you feel when you find your breath. In fact, the book, Awakened Leadership, is exactly themed in that way. The idea is that leadership, when you think about it in your mind, is a concept that many of us worship and many of us think is actually something. But when you awaken that concept, in other words, you make it like the breath in the moment, that kind of leadership is the kind of leadership that actually is true and real leadership. It's here, it's present, it's now. It's not a critique of what you did last week that contributed to today's leadership. It's not an examination of how you might do it in the future. It's none of those things. It's just simply here, now, awake, and ready to respond. Much like when you bring your mind to the breath, the only thing that's present is the breath, right? There really isn't anything else your mind can think about except for, oh, there's the breath. I'm here, there's the breath.
So leadership is. It's not something you do. It just is.
That's correct. And in fact, when you think of yourself doing something, once again, you've gone back into the mind. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about the moment, when you actually are in motion, nobody thinks about what they're doing at that particular point in time. They're simply being called to respond out of the accrued talents that they bring to the table.